What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football, Houston Texans football. Sorry I'm bringing this video to y'all late. I know it's the day before the game. Normally when I do a preview, I normally do it in the middle of the week. I have some stuff I have to take care of, so I didn't get a chance of doing it. But nevertheless, I'm bringing the video to you right now, the preview, Houston Texans versus Tennessee Titans Week 2. I'm going to bring this preview, but before I get into that, I want to dial back some nuggets from last week's game that I think are significant to this game here and going forward to the rest of the season. One of the things I talked about, the reason why I thought the Texans struggled offensively with mostly Deshaun Watson, because he didn't have time with his receivers during the preseason. He didn't play a lot of preseason snaps. Hopkins only played one game, and then only threw the ball a couple of times in the games he did play, the games Deshaun played, but he wasn't throwing to Hopkins and Fuller, even though Fuller had missed some time because of his hamstring. Wasn't throwing to Ryan Griffin. Wasn't throwing to Akins and Jordan Thomas. He wasn't getting familiar with the guys that he's going to be throwing the ball to this season. Now, he was throwing to Braxton Miller. I know he had a couple passes to Ellington, but he wasn't getting familiar with the guys, and I think that's part of the reason why the offense was off balance, was struggling, missed throws, not on the same page because he didn't have the chemistry. And shout out to one of my homeboys, Daryl, because he brought this up to my attention, something I didn't even think about. That's the reason why Tom Brady played so much preseason, because this cast of guys he got, it's not the same cast of guys. It's not because he knew that Edelman is going to be suspended. Is gone. Amendola's down there in Miami, and there's a lot of guys who are unproven or quote unquote considered busts, like Cordell Patterson, like the guy from Indy. I forgot his name, the receiver that they got last year from Indy. Like, he needs to build up some more time and rapport with these guys. So that's why he played so much preseason. That's why they played so much preseason, to get the time and the chemistry right. And they hit the streets, the ground running. As soon as the ball said hut, they was out there moving the ball, able to do what they do, doing Tom Brady-esque things because he had the rapport with his guys. That's something that we didn't do. And I know we want to cut back on injuries, but sometimes especially when you ain't played since week 8 of last year, you gotta get your team with chemistry. A little bit, do safe throws. I know you also don't want to show your hand, don't want to show what kind of plays and things you got, the special type of things you got. Those big ass books that they have for the playbooks. Big ass playbooks they got. They got big catalogs of playbook. Just for instance, just hypothetically speaking, you got 100 plays. If you got 100 plays to start the season off with, you can't save like 15 to 20 of them just for preseason only. Just run them in different formats, and you still got 80 or 75 to 80 more plays that you ain't ran. Just a little small sample. You ain't got to show everything. And then you still gonna make up plays during the season. Like, how many times are you watching the game like, if I do this and do this and do that, hey, damn, bam, a new damn play just got made in week 5. Like, so you don't have to show your hand. We don't want to show our hand. We run this whole vanilla-ass offense during the preseason. It's a bunch of bull, and that's just the coaches getting the calls from the owners of doing the preseason like this because they don't want the preseason. They want the preseason to be null and void because they want to add 18 games to the season. That's really all it is. They just want to add 18 games to this season, to the season. So they want to make preseason less and less irrelevant. So people will stop watching it less and less. And they'd be like, okay, yeah, see, the ratings are not there for the preseason. We need to get rid of these preseason games. That's all it is. Don't get hooked. Don't get bamboozled. That's all that is. And you're actually hurting your product. You're hurting your team because you're not getting them prepared in game live action for the rest of the season because you trying to get 18 game schedule. But that's neither here nor there. Another thing, I really, really like Honey Badger. Like, I'm really, really impressed. And like, I think that Brian Gaines is going ahead and make this contract happen. Go ahead and extend this dude, because after the game, just the look in his eye said a lot. And then when they were talking, the guys who was interviewing was trying to basically give him his props for touching the he said touching pig skin, able with getting the fumble recovery and the interception. And he's like, we still lost. I ain't getting the end zone. We lost by 7. So anytime we lose by a possession, we lose a one possession game and I ain't score, I feel like it's my fault. I'm like, damn. That's what type of accountability I'm talking about. People putting the blame on them. Deshaun came out there after the game and put the blame on himself. Say, you put this L on me. But then you got Bill O'Brien, bitch ass, out there saying it's not my job to call timeout. What the fuck you mean it's not your job to call timeout? I'm still pissed off about that. Like, what the fuck you mean it's not your job to call timeout? And then, I don't care what nobody says, it's unexcusable for him to punt that damn ball with 4 minutes left. But we're not talking about the Patriots game. We're talking about this Titans game. Now, the Texans versus the Titans. Last time Texans played the Titans as a healthy team in NRG, we know what happened. I'm not even going to recap. We know what happened. This Titans team is actually better than that. Better defensively than they were a year before. Now, this game is a very tricky game. And the reason why I say it's a very tricky game because all signs are pointing for the Texans to win and to dominate. To be honest. I mean, they're missing both their tackles. Mariota is dinged up. He's going to play. And normally the Texans play very well against the Titans. Full strength when it's a game that they're ready to play. They play very well against the Titans. And then not healthy or games when they already the games that they already locked up to the playoffs and they just about to go, they just playing up the stretch of the season. They just don't want to get they treating it like a preseason game. The games be close still. Like, they almost lost to the Texans last year against Tom Savage. Like, Tom Savage throws a pick in the end zone. If Tom Savage does not throw a pick, it was on first down, by the way. If Tom Savage does not throw that pick, there's a strong possibility the Texans win that game. Not to mention, 2 plays before that, well, a play before that, they converted a fourth down. But the reason why they had to convert that long-ass fourth down is because you had Jeff Allen with 3 consecutive false starts. Like, how do you have 3 consecutive false starts? But they still converted. Now, Tom Savage threw a pick. He did Tom Savage type shit. But they were still in that game. With all the injuries on defense, all the injuries on offense, they still was in that game. I don't think Will Fuller played that game. And also, Will Fuller is going to play Sunday. So I predict the Texans to win 31-17. But the reason why I say this game is tricky because since all signs are point to the Texans to win, it's one of those type of games that the Texans could lose. The reason why I say that because look back throughout the year of the whole history of the franchise. There's always a game that the Texans should win. Going into the game, like the Texans should win this game. And the Texans lose that game. And then after the season, you look back on the season like, how the fuck did we lose this game? Going into the game, you should have won. And then after the game, you look back, there's no way they should have lost this game. Now, when I did my season predictions, I had that game slated for the Redskins game. But this game here seems more like that because it's a divisional game. And neither team needs to lose this game. The reason why, because if the Titans lose this game, they go 0-2. They got to go to Jacksonville, and then they play the Eagles. So if the Titans lose this game, they're staring 0-4 right in the face. They're staring it right dab in the middle of their face. They're staring 0-4 down right in the middle of their face. And when it comes to us, because of the fashion that we lost to the Patriots, not because we lost to the Patriots, but it's the way we lost to the Patriots, the way that we looked indecisive on offense, not chemistry. Deshaun did not play well. So now you got people out there saying, see, that's why I told you. That's why he shouldn't have been a first-round pick. Like you've had those type of rumblings. Like you got those type of people who are against Deshaun Watson from the beginning who had to shut up and be quiet when he was scoring 19 touchdowns in 7 games. You had those people who had to be, fuck, can't say nothing. And then when he got hurt, they could say a little bit, but only thing they could say is that he got hurt. See, he got hurt. But they couldn't really say nothing about what the play on the field because the play on the field, he was dominant against good defense, against good teams like the Patriots, and against good defenses like Seattle. But then you got this game. One game. And really, to be honest, he did play bad, but you could tell it was more rust than it was not. You could tell it wasn't just like a Blaine Gabbert performance back in Jacksonville, or a Jake Locker performance back in Tennessee, or an Osweiler performance down here. You could tell it wasn't those type of performances. He just looked like a guy who was rusty, a guy who just needed to get back in the game soon. That's exactly how it looked. So, but you got those type of people ready to just have a little bit of negativity. Oh, see. And if you have something like that, and then you have a game when you should definitely defeat and dominate the Titans defensively, your defense should dominate. That pass rush with JJ and Clowney and those guys who, in the first half of the defense, the first half, the defense had a couple 3-and-outs, but they wasn't putting on the way that you expect them to be. That second half, they unleashed. JJ moved around more. I mean, Reed got to Tom Brady twice. JJ had a lot of hurries. The defense, the pass rush started coming on a little bit more. It started being a little bit more suffocating type defense, only allowing 6 points in the second half. And if you have that same type of performance again, where the offense struggles and then you lose to a Titans team, and you 0-2, the schedule-wise for the rest of the games, you still got 8 home games left, and you still got some other games on the schedule that you can win. You can still possibly come away with a 10-6 season if you lose, even if you go down 0-2. But it's the way you go 0-2, fingers start getting pointed, heads start getting hang low, people start losing confidence, and that's the type of season you have when you start snowballing. That's what happened in 2013. We had a couple pick sixes here and there, and it made the team start to snowball. And then even when you got stuff corrected, you had stuff like Kubiak having a stroke on the sideline when you up 24-3 at halftime at home against the Colts. Stuff starts snowballing, just getting out of hand, and just all type of crazy stuff happens throughout the season, and you end up going 2-14. That type of stuff stuff starts snowballing. You don't want that situation to happen. That's why it's so crucial for the Houston to win, because it could be a chance that stuff can start snowballing, and then they fucked. The Titans, they lose, they staring 0-4, and they haven't even reached the toughest part of their stretch yet. This stretch here is tough. Then in the month of November, they got 5 games in the month of November. One is at home, in that home game against the Patriots. Every other game they play in November is on the road. That's a tough stretch for them. That's probably their toughest stretch, because the type of games they play is divisional games, road divisional games, and the only home game they have is against the Patriots. So they go 0-4. The Titans are looking at probably like a 5-11, 4-12, 5-11 season. Because if they end up going 0-4, and then they got that November stretch that's bad. Now they December stretch that's good, because they got a number of home games, a couple good home games. But that first half could take the team out of it. And even though they got those home games at the end, they don't even care about them no more. And that's how they can end up having a 4-12 or 5-11 or 6-10 type team, instead of having 9-7, where I predicted them to go from the beginning. Because you go 0-4, it's kind of hard for you. If you start the season 0-4, it is kind of hard to go 9-7, especially with that November stretch they have. So that's why this game is crucial. They got to stop the bleeding while they can. They need to go 2-2 out of the first 4 games, and they possibly can go 0-4. Even 1-3 is bad. So, but I'm saying this, and also the defense. When it comes to the Texans defense, Kevin Johnson's out on IR because of the concussions. So now Colvin should get more playing time. Something I didn't mention, that out of the percentage, 55% of the snaps Sunday, Colvin only played 55% of the snaps. And the majority of them snaps he played is once Kevin Johnson got hurt. Why did you pay him money if he's not playing? Why are you not playing him I don't understand that. So now he's going to get to be on the field more. And I feel with Kareem and Honey Badger, I think this is the best safeties that we've ever had. Because before that, our best safety group would be probably Glover Quinn and Daniel Manning. Yeah, this safety group is better. I mean, because you got a Pro Bowl, All-Pro in Honey Badger. And you got a first-round pick in Kareem, who, I'm going to tell you something right now that I know a lot of people probably disagree with me, but I'm going to say it anyway. Kareem is a playmaker. Now, as a corner, the stuff he was doing Sunday, like he had 2 forced fumbles. The stuff he was doing Sunday, stuff he's always done. Kareem's always, go back and look at it. This is proven. Go back and look. Kareem's always had plenty of forced fumbles in crucial situations, like last year against the Bengals when Jadeveon Clowney left his assignment wide open and you let Joe Mixon run across. Kareem cleaned it up by forcing the fumble. Key interceptions. He had a couple. I think he has at least 3, if not 4, pick sixes in his career. He knows how to get his hands around the football. But because of as a corner, the type of corner he was constantly getting beat, constantly getting bad pass interference calls. And so those negative plays outweigh the positive plays that he did as a corner. So you look at him as the negative play guy. The guy's always getting burnt or out of position. And that's another thing. He never got his head around. Like never turned his head around when the ball's up and drawing bad pass interference calls. Things like that. Now, as a safety, everything's in front of him. You don't have to worry about the thing. Now he can just go and be the person he's supposed to be. The playmaker, the guy who forces, the guy who's a good tackler, who forces fumbles, who comes in the box, possibly can get his hands around tip balls and get picks and take them back, things like that. Then you got the playmaker, the ball hawk that you have in Honey Badger. And I know people were saying, oh, he was lucky because one was a forced fumble that was failed to him, and then Tom Brady threw the ball behind and he just was there to pick it off. That's what ball hawks say. That's what ball hawk safeties do. They're just lucky. They always in the right spot at the right time for shit to happen, and they get the football. That's what they do. So those two together combination, I think, is the best safety group the Texans ever had. And with Delaney Walker gone for the season, with Matthews did not play last week, not playing this week, you got Corey Davis, they first round pick from a year ago, who I have a Titan fan that I work with who constantly tells me that Corey Davis not just runs bad routes. He's always running the wrong route. Not always, but constantly. He constantly runs the wrong route. And he did to Mariota. He did to Blaine Gabbert. Sundays he did at least twice he knows of running bad routes, wrong routes. You can't run those type of wrong, bad routes with that type of pass rush when both your tackles gone. And you got J.J. Clowney, merciless, coming down, breathing down your neck as Mariota. And that's one thing. Mariota, you want to force Mariota to pass the ball. You don't want Mariota to get outside the pocket and run. You want to keep him in. You want to force him to pass the ball because the 3 times he's played the Texans, every time he plays them, he has bad decisions throwing the football. Every interception he throws are bad interceptions against the Texans. I know the one he threw to Kevin Johnson, he had a free lane to run. Like, was nobody from him, he would easily got the first down. At the last minute, he threw the ball to no Titan. No Titan was in the area. Only people in the area were Texans. He threw it right to Kevin Johnson. And then last year, the 2 picks he had DeAndre Hall, both of those picks were on the same fucking play. Hall knew what play it was. Hall said the second time he knew what play it was, he just stood there and got the pick. Just bad decisions. So he's a bad decision maker. So you got to keep him in the pocket so he can make bad decisions. Hopefully Honey Badger can confuse him. He can make bad decisions and throw the ball. And one thing also, we're playing against Mike Vrabel, former Texans linebacker coach, former Texans defensive coordinator. Now, as you see, every time Bill Belichick faces one of his former proteges, your Bill O'Brien's, your Josh McDaniels, your Romeo Cornez, like all the guys who've been head coaches that played him, he somehow mind fucks them all to make them do dumb shit in the middle of a game. So hopefully, now Vrabel is under Bill O'Brien's coaching tree. He's the first coach under his coaching tree. Hopefully, Bill O'Brien is savvy enough to able to mind fuck the shit out of Vrabel to make Vrabel do dumb calls, make Vrabel do dumb, irrational decisions to help the Texans win the game. To do uncharacteristic stuff to be like, damn, why are you doing this, Vrabel? So Titan fans like, why are you doing this, Vrabel? Hopefully, Bill O'Brien can do that. Hopefully, Bill O'Brien can at least learn that from Bill Belichick. Because Bill Belichick's been doing this for the past 20 years. Can you do it now? Now you got a coaching protege. Now you got somebody under your coaching tree that you about to face against in your division twice a year that has talent. The Titan team does have talent, but the Texans' talent should outweigh theirs. You have the better quarterback. You have the better receivers. I think you have the better defense. Now, they have the better corners because I don't trust our corners. They have the better corners. I think you have the better safeties. I think you have the better defensive line. And I think you have the better front seven. They have the better offensive line, but now they have both their tackles. Who knows? Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell to get more videos. Like I said, the final score, 31 Texans, 31 Titans 17.